Yeah. Like I feel fatter.
Are you feeling bloated?
Yeah, a little bit. Is that what it is?
You want some cranberry juice?
Would you like some Mito?
And do I? Now I'm starting to think, do I have that not so fresh feeling?
Wow.
I washed, yeah, I got on cologne.
Oh, my.
Just some days I just feel real fat.
You look,
Some days I forget I'm fat, like, and I'll run somewhere.
so it balances.
Oh, don't worry, those days are few and far between. Days I forget I'm fat. But the flip side of that, there's some days I just feel extra fat. Like when you have to grunt just to get up out of a regular chair. Like I'm not even talking about a low chair. You know what I'm saying? Skinny people looking at me like they have no idea what I'm talking about. My thick people. We must stand together. Breathe.
And breathe.
Right.
I can't talk to.
Like I saw one guy in Walmart the other day. I was like, God, dog, wait. How can I really say something about somebody else being fat? But clearly, I have my own problems. And they're not really problems. I look at fat as being a challenge. I have my skinny days when I feel like I could take over the world, when I feel like I could put on a bulletproof vest or a suit that's anatomically correct to my structure, a cowl over my head, a cape on my back, boots, and a really, really, really cool car. I'm Batman. Today wasn't one of those days. I have days when I pretend like I'm from an entire another solar system and my home got destroyed and as a baby my dad put me into this thing and shot me millions of light years across the universe to a little planet that's mostly water with lots of land and a lot of hurting people and for some reason their son gave me a strength that the people on my home planet didn't have and I'm here to save them. Today wasn't one of those days. There are even days that I'll sit down and pretend that I was fighting my enemy, and as a result I got dropped into this acid that messed up my face and gave me a permanent white mask, something like a clown, and I have this really evil laugh, and my sole purpose is not just to take over the world, but to be the arch enemy of someone who really doesn't like me, but is just like me, and I make a lot of jokes to her, making me a joker, an arch villain. Hey, stop playing. An arch villain. Deviously maniacal, rich beyond his wildest dreams, and with hopes and aspirations, taking over an entire planet. But today was not one of those days. Today, I woke up breathing hard, thankful that the TV was still playing because that meant my electricity was still on. Looked over to my phone, saw a bunch of new text messages, and I smiled not because of who sent them, but because of the fact that they were there. I woke up with the ability to just say thank you for going to the bathroom and taking one of the most amazing dumps of my entire life. It felt so good, I smiled. Probably a little too much information. But see, today was the day that I didn't need to feel like a superhero. Today was a day that I didn't need to feel like taking over the world. Today was just a day. And I am just a man. And sometimes that's enough. Y'all give it up for Just God. Without any further ado, it is my esteemed honor to introduce to you for the first time together here at Poor Richard's Bookshop, Just John and Saivon. Y'all give it up!
So, this is my son. Anybody want to guess how old he is?
12.
14.
12.
And I didn't really know that.
That's my 12-year-old, 5'9", 175 pounds twin.
Yeah.
Who is also an honor roll student. Give it up for that. How many times? 4 or 5.
Nice.
Thank you. For those of you who don't really know me well, I am a single father. This is my son.
Hey, hey, hey.
We about to try to play something. So, son, feel free.
ready for some poetry.
Yeah.
Forgive me. Name. Yes, Jay.
Jay Ward.
Jay Ward. That's what I was trying to do. Jay something. What?
Right
No, hey, that's all right though. He come up here and get me right now. Because the first poet I want to bring up, because I want to hear him, because I felt bad because I know he's dope. I know he's dope like cocaine and heroin, but meaning addictive, but not in that way where you want to sell everything and steal from your family, but in a Jay Ward, ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up. Clap for the poet. What's good, brother?
So, wasn't really expecting to do anything. I came to support Dani because she is very, very dope, and I definitely wanted to come support her.
I love you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I have two daughters. I have a son and two daughters. The daughters are 14 and 18. One thing that I really realized as they were growing up was they need that affirmation from a man, but just affirmation in general. Because if they don't have a good sense of self, then when they grow up, it's not going to take much to turn. I mean, a guy could just say, you know, you're cute, and they'll be all over that. So I try to build up their self-esteem as much as possible. This poem is about my philosophy of what happens if you don't build up self-esteem in women, and it's called my clearance rack philosophy. So this is my clearance rack philosophy. There are some people who only buy from the clearance rack. And there are some people who would never ever do that. See, some are more motivated by the sale, the deal, the price. Others could look at that same item and agree that the product is nice, but there must be something wrong with it for it to be on the clearance rack. Men go shopping for women like that. Your broken low self-esteem attracts us like moths to flame. What a bargain to spend JCPenney attention and get the Dolce & Gabbana name. That's why companies carefully consider what consumers are willing to pay. They can't mark down high-end couture too much because they get in their own way. And sometimes I think women, you get in your own way. You sometimes view relationships as a door to your heart that you closed, but would then complain that no one ever visits. I'll say that again. You sometimes view relationships as a door to your heart that you closed, and then complain that no one ever visits. You need to decide what your worth is. You have misplaced yourself onto the clearance rack, and soon everyone will believe that's what your worth is. Even in self-image, you complain about curves, hips, thighs, rolls. You find fault with your butt, lips, eyes, nose. You twist the words of your mirror until it doesn't know how to respond to you anymore. Understand something. When Jill Scott says there's power in them rolling hills, she is not speaking to you as your sister. She is speaking on behalf of men. Because half of men pursue 50% discounts, but half of men know the width of childbearing hips count in their favor, and that love is the warmth of two flesh, and that love handles help you hold on to love the best. See, what most fashion models will never tell you is that most plain girls find themselves to be beautiful in that same moment that most pretty girls find themselves ugly. In the dark absence of admirers and mirrors where inner beauty reflects clearer. And by the way, be careful what you describe as baggage. Never feel like less of an option because you have kids. If the man you hope to gain can't handle that, that's not your loss, that's his.
Let's go, Jay
Let
Ward!
your mistakes, but embrace who you are. Don't let your tears hold you back. You will face more tomorrow. See, there are some people who would rather overpay than be cheated. And there are some that would rather have damaged goods than to have their pockets hurt. You never be viewed as cheap or overpriced. Be viewed as worth it.
I told y'all.
I believe you are far too valuable to be auctioned off to the lowest bidder. Left to hang there on the clearance rack, bitter. Where sales tags trigger how your value is measured. And I know one man's trash is another man's treasure, but why should you ever feel trashed? Just to feel treasured.
Let's go! Hey!
Treasure yourself. I don't mind you complaining over self-imposed loneliness, but it kills me to see you crying over self-closed doors. So before you estimate your own value and what a man should be willing to pay, remember to never ever sell yourself short, because you will always get in your own way and thus remain on the clearance rack.
Do you think my desire to look nothing like her. To remove any trace of her reflection from my mirror, eliminate any remnant of our connection, refuse to participate in her false perfection is somehow a mistake. Something I'll look back upon one day and wish I didn't partake, or could it possibly be the beginning of my soul's salvation? See, I hate her weakness. Her willingness to let people continuously take from her and make excuses. I've never understood addicts, and yet I know her all too well. I can detail for you her every thought, concept, and idea, and the reasoning she applies to them, and I would almost feel sorry for her if she didn't piss me off so much. Her willingness to trust, to allow entrance into our delicate places, to give possibilities for the failings of others. She's a direct contradiction of what I consider to be womanhood, and yet she knows Proverbs 31 like the back of her hand. Eager to be counterpart to an imperfect, unreliable man, and I want to know, how do oil and water coexist? A perfect blend, a tasty cocktail of self-deceit, and she drinks willingly, as if lost in a desert drought for years. Is it any wonder I've no desire to see her in my mirror, and yet she swims in my tears? So I close my eyes, believing that loss of sight might quell my fears, because I still see her. Her hair may not be the same length. Her attitude is most definitely different. But if the eyes are the windows to the soul, the view is still the same. I see her. And I'm a little disappointed. Frustrated might be more accurate, because despite my attempts at eradicating her very existence, she still lingers. I hear her footsteps but can't see her shadow. I'm sure I'm leading but don't see her follow. I am positive we're going in circles and getting nowhere. And I'm not sure who to blame. I mean, if I place the fault on her, does it clear my name? Because I'm not the guilty one. Or am I? After all, she and I, we're one and the same. On different days, at the very same hour, we go by alter egos but share the same name. She drives me crazy. I joke about this bipolar existence, the lighthearted name I've given to us, but I swear, damn if it isn't trying to reign in who I am and become who I need to be to survive. Ooh, shit. I wish she would just let me rest. I wish living life wasn't a test of my wills, honing my skills of deceit, testing the ones who would dare to love me, but she gives me no choice. She lets them in. She leaves me to make sure that we're okay at the probability of their departure. I swear knowing her is torture, but she refuses to die. And in that we are similar. We're the lost twin syndrome, born in the same body, and I love her for not giving in to me, refusing to give up the good in me. She keeps me balanced. And although I hate the feel of my unsteady feet, at least we'll still walk together.
All right.
If you can get to the place where you know the good, the bad, and the downright offensive about yourself, you don't have to love it. You just got to accept that that's who you are. Brilliantly crazy, insanely genius, intellectually aware of my mental defects necessary for survival, at least I'm breathing. And while not quite living, accomplishing, so it's better than nothing. It gives some semblance of something worthy, even entertaining, just empty. I give new meaning to the word compartmentalizing. It's more than just existing and exact science of dissecting disengagement from anything remotely close to feeling, because you have to take the good with the bad. Y'all, you don't get heaven without hell. Blessing without curses. I would rather use lyrics and verses as my therapy. They keep me company, only help, not hurt me, so I write. Some might think that an above average IQ would be beneficial most days. I think it's just plain cruel, because ignorance is bliss and I am full of knowledge. There is nothing that I hide from myself. I don't know why some find me inspiring. You have no idea what it's like driving on train tracks, praying for oncoming traffic without brakes. I'm a control freak, determined to never let them break me, so they never get to love me unless it's from a distance. Don't ever say that that's the beginning of the end, because I would rather be alone than lonely and in love recovering. I'm tired of stitches, bandages and crutches replaced by this permanent limp when I have to walk away. No, thank you. Some might call it cowardice. I call it good prudence, better judgment. Not that I don't love the idea of loving, just not willing, and I know it. So I won't let you waste your time catering to me, trying to win my heart, get me to dream. I'm a realist, you know. I leave the good men for better women. Someone willing to believe in them, capable of trusting them. I barely trust myself. I question God, and I know that it's human nature to fail. So I pass. Choose to continue on the path of emotional unavailability, working, driving, accomplishing. It comes close to real living, but most importantly, y'all, it's surviving. I just wish I could do it without being so self-aware.